Loki Moki opens with the traditional MCU logo and theme, but it's still green. Therefore, we're back to the topic of deception, and golly, it's a real game of lies this time.
I'm not lying this time.
I'm supposed to believe your terrorist
I'm telling you the truth. She's not my girlfriend.
Deep in the mountains, we enter Asgard, where young Sylvie is living through her childhood, but is then taken away by the TVA. So my second theory was totally correct. As a result, the reason why she didn't know her mother well, and why she seemed so alien to the very customs and actions that Loki celebrated on the train, is because her life was incomplete.
Tell me about your mother.
I barely remember her. Just blips of a dream at this point.
Her attraction towards him was because he gave her a glimpse and allows her to reconcile that very specific unachieved part of her. Subsequently, young Sylvie follows the same procedures but escapes from her disgust. The guard that was holding her was, in fact, Owen Wilson's boss lady, Renslayer, whose eyes are filled with regrets but also commitment, which has followed her all the way straight to the present as she meets with the timekeepers. The opening plays, and this is an episode about the other side. The same characters, the same world, but a different angle. Through the eyes of its angry subjects, and through the regretful ones of those in charge. It's all about coming home. Boss Lady is scared as the timeline is endangered. Furthermore, the girl that Sylvie brainwashed, C20, is dead, which has now totally stopped Owen Wilson from being able to investigate what she meant when she said,
It was real.
What's real? Off the dial. Look at me.
I want to go home.
I need to find out what that meant and what else she saw when she was with the variant.
She's dead.
However, it's also caused him to notice something fishy is going on. A seed of doubt is planted. Back on Lamentus, the pair sit down once again. The rocket is gone, the tempad can't be charged, and they have mere minutes.
I'm sorry.
Sylvie fully discloses her past as she accepts death. Deep down inside, she doesn't value herself because she sees herself as a galactic mistake.
Everywhere and every when I went caused a Nexus event, until eventually I figured out where to hide. The ends of 1,000 worlds. Now, that's where I'll die. Do you think that what makes a Loki is the fact that we're destined to lose?
However, Loki rebukes this. He praises her life's ability to reject and survive against all odds, and they accept death together as the horizon approaches. From enemies to rivals to companions to one person. Loki started out this show disassembled from being exposed to the hopelessness of his life. He saw the consequences of his villainy, his redemption and death. Therefore, he's both desensitized from all this, but due to this knowledge, he's also converted it into genuine wisdom when he's with her.
We may lose, sometimes painfully, but we don't die. We survive.
For the reason that it's the closest thing he'll ever have to responding to it. It's a form of self-therapy, if you will. Through Sylvie, Loki became a new man. However, Owen Wilson can see the timeline split due to this connection, and the TV arrives to capture them. As a result, Loki and Owen Wilson reunites. Effectively, this is the crossing of the return threshold stage within the broader overall narrative structure. You knew I was going to reference Joseph Campbell at one point. Where the hero comes home as a new man and brings about change with their newfounded wisdom from the new frontier. And it's quite freaking literal within this episode. Loki's about to be thrown away, but before it happens, he reveals the truth.
Okay, no, let him one last desperate trick, or go ahead.
The TVA is lying to you.
Initially, Owen Wilson laughs at him. However, it waters the seed of doubt that's already in him. Through the door is Loki's punishment, a loop where a mad Sith kicks him in the nuts in response to him pranking her. Owen Wilson then tries to get access to Sylvie from Boss Lady, but he's blocked.
She's just too dangerous.
Too dangerous? Come on, Ron, this is what I do.
And this is what I do.
He discloses what Loki told him to the guard lady, which then grows the plant of doubt within her.
Just do my job.
There's a repressed delusion that every character, including Boss Lady, shares. But the difference is that everyone else isn't as arrogant as her to ignore it. Loki begins to beg for mercy. He apologizes and once again reflects honestly to the truth of his narcissism and insecurities.
It's because I'm scared of being alone.
She puts her hand out and more quietly dismisses him.
You are alone, and you always will be.
Loki's villainy is a performance, something that's very socially constructed. He acts the way he does, not entirely because he wants to, but because he's expected to, because it's the role that he made himself and has become arbitrarily imposed onto him. However, it's now become a mask with a lock where everyone else but him has the key. However, Owen Wilson returns to investigate the cosmic significance of Loki and Sylvie's relationship.
Me? Working for her?
Okay, so if you're not working for the variant, what is it? Your partners?
Absolutely not.
Initially, Loki rejects with the assumption that there's any sort of relationship between them, although when threatened with the notion of being sent back to the loop, he begins to pretend to be the villain again.
No, what? No, what? Please not. Of course it was me.
Loki, once again, has to lie to survive, and Owen Wilson uses these terms against him by acting like Sylvie had actually died.
Hang on, what did you just say?
What? She's gone.
Yeah. Not before she took out 2 of ours.
Therefore, this whole scene mirrors Loki's reaction to Frigga's death in episode 1 because it's Owen Wilson's technique in identifying Loki's self-awareness and measure his capacity to be sincere. And in doing so, Owen Wilson realizes that it was their love that split the timeline.
2 variants of the same being, especially you, forming this kind of sick, twisted romantic relationship. That's pure chaos. That could break reality. It's breaking my reality right now.
As a result, the show strongly leans towards the conceit that this is, in fact, one big love story between Loki and Sylvie.
It's like, look at your eyes. You like her.
What?
Does she like you?
Furthermore, this also means the whole postman love story is probably a joke, sarcasm that I didn't freaking catch on.
Yeah, there is actually. Managed to maintain quite a serious long-distance relationship with a postman.
But on the other hand, my analysis isn't completely trashed because the point I was trying to make was that Loki was uncomfortable with the topic of love for the reason that he had to move the conversation away, get drunk, and use his own dagger as a rhetorical substitute.
It doesn't make sense, does it?
No, terrible metaphor.
Damn.
Sylvie represents the sexual maturity and confidence that Loki, despite being hundreds of years old, hasn't reached because deep down inside he's still just a kid, trying to gain the approval of the adults around him. He's orientated backwards, whereas she's orientated forwards to the extent that she can joke about such intimate topics. Therefore, Sylvie and Owen Wilson are effectively 2 extremes, order and chaos, but they triangulate with the same goal for Loki. They are targets for him to try and impress, try and find means of completing himself with.
I'm gonna give you half, and let's make it a competition. See who finds it, okay? What, do you want to bet something? Yeah.
Loki originally had no allegiance because he has no firm ideology. Not anymore anyway, after seeing his future. But now he's forced to commit, and he commits with her. The girl that showed him that he can write his own story differently, beyond what everyone expects, and more importantly, beyond what he expects.
The first and most oppressive lie ever uttered was the song of freedom.
You said nearly every living thing, so I'm guessing you don't fall into that guy.
I'm Sylvie now.
It's not very Loki-like.
Yeah? What exactly makes a Loki a Loki? I
taught myself.
You taught yourself that magic?
Yeah, I did.
You were just a child when the TVA took you, but you're amazing.
You fell for yourself.
Her name was Sylvie.
Sylvie is thematically the new frontier, the unknown world the hero traditionally enters when they leave home, if we're going by the Joseph Campbell model. She's the goddess of new knowledge that hands Loki the key to unlock the shackles of his own mind. Therefore, loving her gives him the capacity to love himself. And surprisingly, this is not motivated by narcissism, but the opposite. It's actually a humble act of recognition that there's someone better than him, someone to strive to be, for the reason that Loki's previous pomposity and arrogance, as presented in episode 1 in Dark World, was a disguise for his insecurity and self-hatred. As a result, like Frigga before her, she's the anchor in Loki's life, his compass.
Where do you have her? Where is she?
You lead them right to her.
I don't believe you. You're lying. It's not true.
Or just an eye?
Is she alive?
For now.
Loki reveals the truth. Everyone is a variant, and Sylvie can access these memories with her enchantment, which strikes deeply into Owen Wilson. His love of jet skis, his belief in second chances, his rather mundane attitude with everything, they're all symptoms of a life long past and repressed. But as expected, he acts like he doesn't believe it. However, this time, Loki recognizes it.
You know, of all the liars in this place, you're the biggest.
Why? Because I lied about your girlfriend?
Oh no, that I can respect. I mean the lies you tell yourself.
They're friends in hiding that operates on the same wavelength. Similarly, the guard lady can't hold her sorrow in and approaches Sylvie, bringing her back to the Roxcart warehouse. She reveals that when she took control of her, she saw her past, a glimpse, and wants to have another look. Sylvie grants it, and an alliance is formed.
I looked happy. What now?
Sylvie is like Prometheus, stealing fire for man. This is further developed when Owen Wilson meets with Boss Lady. They celebrate, case closed, but he's saddened. They chat about freedom, but he can't.
Why wouldn't you let me interrogate Sylvie?
She tries to loop the conversation back to protect him, but he can't believe her. It's not a matter of choice, but the truth. How he feels is not compatible of what's expected of him, so he makes his choice. Owen Wilson plays along, but he uses it as a means of taking her thing, although she is suspicious. Afterwards, Owen Wilson watches C-20's interrogation, confirming Loki's information.
Calm down, I'm a variant. So are you. So is every single person in this place. I'm ending this.
He also sees Boss Lady there. She knows this and has been playing him all along. Consequently, he intervenes in Loki's loop and asks him,
Loki!
You told me to shut up.
Do you really believe you deserve to be alone?
I don't know.
Then you better figure it out quick, because the Nexus event the two of you caused, I think whatever that connection is, can bring this whole place down. So we better understand.
As a result, through this moment of honesty, a friendship arises from all the lies. Redemption from both is in the horizon. From interrogator to partner to mentor to wingman now. Owen Wilson must get him back to his girl. But when they return, Boss Lady's there.
You know where I go, if I could go anywhere, wherever it is I'm really from. And wherever I had a life before the TVA came along. Maybe I had a jet ski. That's what I'd like to do.
You ever been on one?
No. I think a TVA agent showing up on a jet ski on the sacred timeline, that would create a branch for sure.
That'll be fun, though.
Yeah. It'd be really fun.
Ivy did.
I don't believe it.
Zero variant energy, no branching in the timeline.
You're right. About the TVA.
Timekeepers didn't create you, they kidnapped you from the timeline.
You weren't born to be king, Loki. You were born to cause pain and suffering and death. That's how it is, that's how it was, that's how it will be.
You can be whoever, whatever you want to be. Even someone good.
You know, you called me a scared little boy.
I called you a lot of things.
So I just have to trust the word of two Lokis?
How about the word of a friend?
Friendship like ours is not common.
Prune him.
Owen Wilson, as the man he learned from Loki, is taken out. Loki's heart breaks, but we watch him reassemble it with rage. He still has her. She's his continuity now. They reunite. Sylvie is finally with the woman who took her away and asks why, but there's no real answer. There's a bigger conspiracy at play.
I don't remember.
Sylvie's heart breaks as a result. She had defined her entire life on revenge. They meet the Timekeepers, and I have no goddamn clue what they're saying.
What do you have to say for yourself?
So, thankfully, the meeting is cut short as everyone's freed by the guard lady, which brings about a massive fight. Sylvie tries to kill one of the keepers, but it's all fake. They're robot puppets this whole time, so there's a whole nother layer to this. Regardless, Loki approaches Sylvie to comfort her, and in an unexpected, shy way, he's about to explain the power of their love and the power of Tumblr shipping art, before being taken out by Boss Lady himself. Sylvie is about to kill her, but interrogates her instead. There's only one true answer. Palpatine must be behind. In the mid-credit scene, Loki wakes up and he encounters several other Lokis, including Richard E. Grant, so the multiverse lives. Like the truth that Owen Wilson and Guard Lady felt, you can't hide freedom, you can only manage it. Who is Loki and was Owen Wilson made a fool of were the questions presented last time when they were together in episode 2. Then episode 3 teased an answer by showing the Loki he can't help but to sincerely be. The boy who loves to perform, not to deceive but to please. Therefore within this episode we see this answer the question from before, with Loki coming home, not just to the TVA but to his role as villain again.
I'm a horrible person. I get it. I really am.
The fact that he apologizes to Sif and is totally reluctant to pretend to be powerful and Machiavellian for Owen Wilson indicates he's orientated completely differently now. He's forwards, not backwards. Owen Wilson was not made a fool of. Loki was maybe playing a game, but it was never a trap.
You can trust me. I understand. I have to earn that.
And now that faith is rewarded. Special thanks to everyone on Patreon. I'm putting all the money towards getting a G5 plane so I can one day meet Emperor Xenu.
Conniving, craven, pathetic worm. You did this.
What are you doing?
Passing the time.